Good evening, everybody. Dr. Dennis Mariano. Welcome to our Transformational Healing Seminar. And tonight's seminar is really very practical, and it's about how to use the stick. Tonight we're going to be discussing the peak performance in injury prevention using the stick and how to stack the odds in your favor. So it's good to have knowledge, but I think it's even more important to understand principles that are going to guide you when you have new knowledge coming into your life, because there's plenty of knowledge out there. We don't need any more information. We need to learn how to filter that information so we can improve our lives on a consistent basis. Our practice mission statement, we always like to share that with you, to provide the best technology in holistic and life care. And our catalyzing statement is to inspire people to live extraordinary, thriving lives so they can be a beacon of hope for others. So, can you grab me the stick, Linda? So, before we begin our seminar, I want to express my infinite gratitude to Dr. Jeff Spencer, the mentor that I have from way back when in 2008 when we first met. And Dr. Spencer was a Tour de France chiropractor for 8 years in a row, where he was very instrumental in allowing the people that he worked with in the Tour de France, the Discover Channel team, the Postal Service team, and the Radio Shack team to perform at the highest level on a very consistent basis due to the work that he did with them. And one of the instructions he gave us was how to use the stick, which was very transformational. So question is, why do we get injured when we exercise, perform, and compete? And also number 2, why don't some people get better even if they rehab? Number 3 question is, discover how you can heal and recover faster. And number 4, most importantly, how do you avoid injuries in the future and get stronger as the time goes by? So there's a mechanism called myotomal inhibition, where the muscles, or when a body gets injured, the body on a neurological, physical level memorizes that pattern, and it tends to stay that way until you reset the myotomes. And part of that is actually using the cold laser, and I'll show you that in a minute. Can you grab the laser too, Linda? Forgot to bring that here. And it's on the setting thing there. So the most important thing you need to understand, also the reason why we even do what we do, that the whole point of the body functioning the way it is to actually stimulate the nervous system. The nervous system needs 3 things. It needs stimulation, glucose, and also oxygen. And the most important thing is stimulation. The principle is that if you have the brain is communicating with the body and the organs, and you have 100% control, communication, you have 100% function. And what also happens, because of physical, emotional, and chemical stress, the vertebrae can actually be misaligned very slightly, and it can diminish the communication between the body and the brain, and therefore the inhibition of communication between the brain and the body leads to all types of problems, chronic issues, and diseases, including pain. If you look at the studies, you could see that this is from Dr. Chung Ha Su from over 40 years ago in the University of Colorado, and what they found is that when you put even a small amount of pressure on the nerve, which is about 40 millimeters of mercury, within 1 to 2 minutes, you will decrease the function of that nerve by 60%. So therefore, when you have these misalignments, you're unaware that there's something wrong until it's too late. So the intracell stick's really interesting. Dr. Pat Belcher, a chiropractor, a long time ago, back in the early 2000s, was having challenges. He was getting chronic neck pain that nobody could help him. He knew many different practitioners. He would go to them, try to get adjusted, and then he really didn't get any long-term results. So out of frustration, what he actually did, he went down into his basement. This is what Dr. Spencer shared with me. He actually took, out of frustration, a broomstick and broke it in half. And what he had is what you see there is similar to what is now the stick. So what he did is he actually used it and out of frustration started rubbing it on his neck, and wouldn't you know it, within a few minutes his pain was gone. And you know, people say that necessity is the mother of invention, and I think that applies in this particular case. So the stick provides myofascial release and trigger point therapy by segmentally elongating the muscle bundles, and we'll describe that in a few moments. And it has a unique design that can simultaneously release multiple lesions at the same time instead of just doing trigger point therapy. And it takes basically minimal amount of time and no physical effort whatsoever. So it also helps your muscles be more relaxed and therefore more flexible, and it can help you avoid injuries and help injuries heal faster when they happen. So during pre-activity, before you even start doing your activities, when the muscle is being stretched without hyperextending the joint, it actually benefits you to help certain sports because you're not really moving the muscle, but you're also warming up the muscle by using the stick. And after you do the activity, the stick also enhances and accelerates recovery. It gets rid of the lactic acid that's built up in there, and it helps you elevate your performance as well. And it helps you with strength and flexibility and endurance naturally, because when you release tension in the myofascial system, it also gets rid of trigger points at the same time. So if you're already under care, doing PT, chiropractic care, massage, acupuncture, and so on, it actually helps you hold those corrections better, because what happens is that you're actually updating the myofascial system and the nervous system by stimulating the mechanoreceptors and the proprioceptors in the muscles and the joints in order that the body can make new neuronal connections. And it's definitely a must for exercise presentation and preparation, and also after you exercise, it's a good time to use that as well. It only takes a few minutes, really. So let's demonstrate. Linda, you want to help us demonstrate? So the one thing you want to do is actually, it'll take like 5 minutes or so here. So that's good, you have your hair up. So what you want to do is, I can point out here, so turn this way, all the way here. And take a hold of the stick, right here. And then you want to turn your head to one side, and that side is where you will go up and down. Just go like that. You feel that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. And do that for as long as you need to, where you feel that you've had enough. And then we're just going to do this not as long as you really normally would. Go there, and then same thing. So turn this way a little bit more. No, you turn your, just don't turn your body. Just turn the arm right there. Can you see that? So that's how you use it on the neck. You would do this before you work out. So you should be taking this stick with you to your workout place and get there 5 minutes early. The next thing you want to do is the shoulders. So you take this, you hold this below you, and you don't move it. Come forward a little bit more. And you bring it across the shoulder this way. Don't move that, and go across. Let me see if I can fix the camera. There. And do the same thing to the other shoulder. Hold that here, and go across that way. And you can press even harder if you can you feel that?
Yes.
And then go down further down this way so you can get the rest of the sits muscles. Good. Then what you want to do, you want to actually move over to this side here, and then go down to the lumbar area behind you here, just to the one side. You can do that there, and then go to the left side first, up and down. So now hold on, do both sides now, move up and down. So go to the one side here, but move both up and down. And then the right side. And then you also want to do the glutes. Go to the one side of the glutes. Yeah, this one side there, good, up and down, that. And then the other side also. Good. And then now, the next step is the quads. So put your right foot over here, turn around. Put your right foot on top here, on the chair. Right. Now go on top of your quads. Bend your knee, bend your knee, come forward. Here and here. Yeah, just go back and forth there. See that? And you would do that for both sides. And then now you go to the hamstrings. Keep the same foot up, behind, yep. All the way, full range. Yeah, back and forth. And then do the calves now. Come forward still, come forward, there you go. Up and down all the way from here to there. And then when you do the front of your leg, don't do this because that's bone. Go on the outside of the leg. And do that on the other side as well. Nope, that's bone, don't do that there. Do the other leg. And do the calf. And then the back of the hamstrings. Right, and then go back to the middle over there. And then what you'll do, you'll grab it in the middle of the stick. And then you can now do the forearms. Grab the middle of the stick and then go up, turn the arm up, in and out. This way, back and forth. Keep going. There you go. Back and forth, back and forth. And this way you're warming everything up. And then the other side. And that really, so how does that feel after doing
good,
that?
Actually.
Doesn't it though? I mean, you'll feel like you actually warmed up,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you even, like, you know, instead of just sitting there stretching, but you don't really hit all the different parts of the body. So put the stick on both hands now, lift up all the way straight above you, and then widen your stance there. Go to that side more, good. And up straight, all the way up, arms straight, all the way up, straight, reach up to the ceiling, good. Now, tilt to the one side, all the way, more, good. You feel that?
Yes.
And then up, straight up again, pull up, and then to this other side. Can you see that? And then now put the stick in front of you and then turn, widen your stance again, get a good base. Turn your upper body to the left as far as you can. Slow. Keep going. Keep going. Can you feel that?
Yes.
And then the other side. Go and back and forth that way. Good. Good. All right. Well, thank you so much for demonstrating for us.
Thank
So
you.
now you're warmed up for your workouts.
I am. Thank you.
And that's what I will do in a few minutes when I go to do the workout as well. So hopefully that's helpful to you. It's really very simple, and the best thing to do is do that before you work out and also after you work out as well. So where else can you use this stick? At work, especially right now, everybody's still sitting at home doing their work. Every hour to 90 minutes, I would get up and use the stick, just as we described, for at least 5 minutes. You don't have to spend a long time, although the more time you spend not sitting is actually a good benefit as well. What else? How about long car rides? You need to stop every few hours if you're driving far away, 2.5 hours or so, and then while you're at the gas station filling up with gas, just go ahead and use the stick, just the way we described for you for the last few minutes as well. One time, I think I was in the New Jersey Turnpike, and I did that, and I was at the gas station, and you can see, you know, a lot of people are waiting in line, and right behind me was an elderly couple, and this older gentleman actually walked out of his car and said, "Young man, what is that thing?" And I said, "It's a stick, sir. I'm, you know, using it." Said, "I think my wife can use that." So I said, "Really?" I said, "Here, why don't you have it?" So I went ahead and gave it to him. I'm sure that made his day, because, you know, it's really helpful, especially when you have a lot of tension in your body and inflammation, and, you know, as you get older, it's really beneficial to use that. Who else can benefit from the stick? Any athlete, dancers, cheerleaders can benefit, people with track and field, soccer, football, any sports, tennis, baseball, any sports that you participate in. I recommend that you go ahead and use the stick right before you work out and also after you work out, especially if you're doing you know, really intensive, extensive work. Also, martial artists, You can benefit from the stick as well, especially after you do a lot of workouts. And the most important thing, again, is you need to understand that your nervous system is the system that the reason why you move all day long is to feed the brain information so the brain can in fact give you the health that you need as well. The problem is, though, that the danger is that if your spine is misaligned and you're not getting adjusted on a regular basis, think about this, you're exercising a spine and the nervous system that is unbalanced. And if you are working a spine that's unbalanced, it's like driving a car that's out of alignment. You're going to do damage to it, create arthritic changes, and consequently a breakdown in the nervous system. Because ideally you should be optimally healthy, but when you have these subluxation patterns or subluxation complexes, the nerve system becomes interfered with, the body malfunctions over time, you lose your health, and then next thing you know, you have all kinds of symptoms and pain and suffering and disease as well. So our next seminar, Linda, is to let your body be your guide and learn how to muscle test. It's Tuesday at 6:30. These are some athletes that we worked with in the past. And so, again, our practice mission statement is to provide you with the best technology and holistic and life care. This is actually part of the technology that we use. And our goal is to inspire people to live thriving and extraordinary lives so they can be a beacon of hope for others. Type in your questions and comment in the section. If you value and were inspired by anything that we just shared with you today, comment and like and share this information with people. Connect with us as well. Many ways you could do that. You could do Facebook on Mariano Holistic Life Center, Dr. Dennis Mariano with no space between the DR. We're on YouTube, on Instagram as well, and also our website. So in closing, always take time in your busy life. We recommend that you slow your brain down, you pause, you take a deep breath, and begin with the end in mind. Instead of living in your familiar past, create the future that you want by letting go of your past history. Nobody lives a perfect life. Not only have you made mistakes in the past, I have many times, and not only will we create more mistakes in the future, but we can't allow our past to determine our future, because our future is created in the here and now. With that, I'd like to close with a poem by Kent Keith. It's called The Paradoxical Commandment. People are illogical and unreasonable and self-centered. Love them anyway. If you do good, people will accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Do good anyway. If you are successful, you will win false friends and true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you're honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. People favor underdogs but follow only top dogs. Fight for the underdogs anyway. When you spend years, what you spend years building may be destroyed overnight. Build anyway. People really need help but may attack you if you do help them, or make suggestions and accuse you of being picky or being resentful. Help them anyway. Give the world the best you have and you'll get kicked in the teeth. Give the world the best you have anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, they may be jealous. Be happy anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. Until we see you next week in the Muscle Test Seminar, invite your friends. I'm Dr. Dennis Mariano. Have a good night. Take care.